What's going on, everyone? Real fast, before we jump into this video, I just want to say I will be discussing major Scream 5 spoilers, and I know a lot of you want nothing to do with Scream 5 and spoilers, so if you click away from this video, I completely understand. I would appreciate you hitting the like button, helps me out a lot and shows your support here on the channel. I do have tons of other Scream videos that you can check out, so feel free to browse the channel and see if there's any you have yet to see. And 3, 2, 1... Alright, if you're still here, then I assume you have no issues with anything in Scream 5 being spoiled. With that being said, hit the like button. It helps me out a lot, lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Join this wonderful community and all the discussions we have here on the channel. So, most of us, if not all of us, have heard of the opening scene attack on Jenna Ortega's character, Tara Carpenter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, I will sort of brush over it, but I do have all the details in a video down in the description below, so after this video, go check it out. It has been kind of a major topic on most channels that cover Scream, so I'm going off the assumption that you know what is going on. So, obviously, Jenna Ortega, we don't know if she lives or dies. The leak ended before that was revealed. We just know that she gets a phone call. She thinks Amber is going to be attacked. She leaves the home. She gets slashed, and then an attack ensues, and she tries to fight off, and that's basically the gist of it. She calls the police during the conversation with Ghostface, which is smart, and we've talked about various possible outcomes. You know, we've talked about her being the Drew Barrymore type role, which makes a lot of sense. They said that they wanted to pay homage. You know, they wanted to, sort of have this mirror the original Scream in a lot of ways. That's a perfect way to do it. Obviously, she's not as iconic as Drew Barrymore was at the time, but we know who she is. She's been kind of positioned to be the main protagonist and like the final girl going forward, kind of take over the mantle for Sidney. There's been a lot of the rumors, a lot of the speculations. So to kill her in the Drew Barrymore type way makes a ton of sense. We talked about her, living. It would make great sense to kind of have that be a nice little change. Obviously, there'll probably be an opening scene kill, whether that be Amber. We talked about Dewey being the opening scene kill because maybe he hears that, there's a Ghostface attack, depending on how Tara responds in the text or the call, whatever. Maybe he's like, I'm going to go check out Tara, and you guys go check on Amber, and he gets attacked. If you want all the details on the Dewey theory that I presented, then that will be linked down in the description as well, so you can go check that out. But that is a very possible outcome, but she could live somehow, some way, and it fits the synopsis for the upcoming Scream 5. I mean, someone returns to Woodsboro to investigate a strain of attacks. If it's Sam Carpenter, Tara's sister, that makes perfect sense. But there is an idea that has popped into my head that I want to present and have a discussion with you all per usual, so make sure you join it down in the comments below. And that is, what if Ghostface lets Tara live because he wants to send a message? What if he just does the attack and wants to send the message, and the message is to Sidney? Well, how would that be a message? Like, why not just kill her? That's sending a message to Sidney. Well, what if Tara and the Carpenters are living in Sidney's old house? I mean, it makes a ton of sense because we know Sidney no longer lives in Woodsboro. The sort of consensus is that she will return to Woodsboro for whatever reason. Again, ties into like Dewey's early death. People have speculated Martha. People have speculated, Judy. What if it's none of that? What happens if nobody dies and that brings Sidney in? What if it's just a message being sent because Tara's in Sidney's old house? We know Sidney's dad's dead. He died in between 3 and 4. And we know that, again, Sidney's gone. So who knows what happened to the house? I mean, all of Sidney's family members and distant relatives are all dead. Could, her father's relatives maybe took over the house? Yeah, possibly. But it's also a possibility that the house just got, sold or whatever, because Sidney's not going to want anything to do with that house. So what if the Carpenters are living in Sidney's old house? Ghostface wants to get Sidney's attention. That would make some pretty big headlines, especially if it's like the 25th anniversary, like it is in reality. So now you have that sort of mirror, that meta aspect of it all. that would make major headlines and Sidney would see it. You know, Ghostface attack in her old home, that would have reporters and everything coming out of the woodworks to talk about it. And you might ask, well, then why not just kill Tara? I mean, you still have the same outcome. Because what would make more headlines? That she died or that she's alive in the hospital to be interviewed? You know, like you'd have everybody trying to talk to her and trying to, you know, create a buzz. You would have more of a buzz if she lived, because everyone wants to talk to the person that survived the Ghostface attack in Sidney's home. You know, so now you have that big connection, and now you have that sort of intertwined, perfectly wrapped into a bow storyline that you can build off of. Another idea that I had, we know Stu's house is making an appearance. What if Tara is attacked in Stu's house? What if they live in Stu's old house? It's the same kind of concept. And it would send the same message to Sidney. I mean, you could even argue that Stu's house would be more impactful to Sidney than her own house, because that's where everything unfolded in the original attacks. You know, you had this sort of, you know, memory lane type attack. Maybe she sees a picture of Tara and sort of connects. I mean, they look like they could be, you know, related somehow. They look like, you know, she's got that same like wholesome girl next door type look, type feel to her. You know, she might feel connected, you know, to that see the Stu house and start having, maybe then you can tie in some of those flashbacks. You know, Sidney sees on the news Stu's house where this girl was attacked, and boom, now you start playing the flashbacks of her with, you know, Stu and Billy and everybody. And that's just a perfect way, again, to kind of intertwine everything. It just, you start having the story unfold, and because you have to have an explanation, you have to have a reasoning behind why, you know, Sidney would return to Woodsboro, or how would she be involved somehow. Well, if it was Stu's attack, Stu's house, now you got that media buzz, you know, wherever Sidney is, we assume she's probably in the old house as Scream 3, because that's kind of all we have to go off of. But even then, you know, maybe she gets a media attention there, you know, or she's living elsewhere and media's flocking her house, and now she's kind of like in this whirlwind going on. I mean, there's so many different directions that you can go with this idea, but just the basic idea of the attack on Tara Carpenter being in Sidney's or Stu's house makes perfect sense to me, and I personally love the idea. Like, it was just something that clicked, and I was like, I have to make a video on this. This is brilliant. But as always, this is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you love this idea? Do you hate this idea? Is there any way you would expand on it? I'd love to hear from you. So let me know. Again, if you have not hit that like button, it helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos. So I'd really appreciate if you smashed that like button. If you're not subscribed, again, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notifications. Stay up to date with all things Scream. Join this awesome community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.